Good morning for me as well. My name is Sander Barens. I'm the CEO and founder of Capvion. We are a boutique house for M&A advisory and strategy consultancy. And I really want to run the parallel with the conversation that you just started, Nasya. I'm going to talk about the people, not the companies, and the effects of AI on you. The title of Competitive Advantage of Curiosity, you will see this is going to come back in my presentation. I've got a few more slides, a few more details, but bear with me. But before I talk about the technology itself, I want to tell you a story. The conversations that we were having at the beginning of this year. And we've been talking to a lot of different companies, different people, different industries, and very different agendas. But somehow, all of these conversations, they ended up talking about something similar. And quite often, that topic was not even on the agenda. And the question is, what is AI going to mean for me? Am I going to lose my job because of AI? And I understand the question because there's fear, right? In the boardroom, AI is seen as a way to improve efficiencies and start getting cost reductions because you can let people go. So it's a natural question to go from, hey, what is it going to mean for me? What I'm going to show you is that it's an opportunity, and you should not be fearing this. So you should ask yourself the question, how can I become valuable as AI is becoming part of my job today? No, one back, going too quick. And again, we've seen this before, different technologies, and when we run through history, there have been very big global innovations that we thought that were going to change the world, and they did. But they ended all up being an opportunity. When the internet hit, we were all afraid that retail was going to stop, the shops on the street were going to close, and all the people were going to be fired, and it didn't. It created a lot of new opportunities, and now that we look back at it, we are very happy with the whole build-out of the internet. And the same can be said for the cloud computing and the smartphones. But when we follow this man who's now walking into the future and what AI is going to do for us, remember what we learned from history, and this is what we can then apply on our own jobs today. I will talk a little bit about the companies, but not too much. Earlier this year, in April, we published a paper called The Enterprise AI Adoption Gap. And we looked at the enterprise and to see how advanced are they in the adoption of AI and what's happening. And what we were learning here is that there's a lot of talk about it, and great pilots are being done, but the conversion from pilots into an operational AI, that conversion is still really, really low. And the reason is simple. The processes, the data, and the infrastructure were never built to support AI. They support the current processes. And the nice thing is, the outcome of this one is, this is not a technology gap, this is a readiness gap. And that readiness gap will be and has to be solved by people. And those people, I will talk about next, but we're going to call those the transformers. And so we all know AI is going to be important. The technology is there, it works. Yes, we're still missing on how to glue it all together, which is that infrastructure piece. But what we're missing more is somebody who understands and who can use that AI and what it means for their customers, what it means for their business, and start looking at the business outcome. So really become that glue between the technology and the outcome. And this is what you see across the board, that this skill set is missing today, and that is the opportunity I want to talk about with you. Because we all need to understand on how to use AI, and you can be afraid of it, and you can lean back and hope that that will just pass by. But if you focus on these 5 very simple points, and you will see here, there's not there, learn on how to code AI. We will have amazing AI engineers, and we need them in order to get the models up and running. But I want to start with curiosity. Curiosity is, for me, one that I find really, really important, because this is you. Stay curious, continue to learn. You can have talent, which will open the door for you to get into a company, into the job that you want. But you're going to have to continue to learn in order to stay ahead, especially these days where innovation is pacing so fast. Customer understanding. Well, this is a great parallel with what Nasja discussed earlier, right? You have to understand your customer, and you need to understand on how to use AI in order to make that customer relationship so much better. AI is great at producing answers, but they're all just suggestions, and it is horrible at asking questions. So it can support you to solve the customer problem. It's not going to tell you what to do, and it's not going to tell you what kind of questions to ask. This morning over a cup of coffee, we were talking about sales. And that on a conference like where we are today, you build your meetings and you have your speed dating. But the real people you meet after the event, and this is where you start to communicate, and this is where you see that you pick up your leads and you can start creating another opportunity. That's also something that, but now that everybody has access to the same intelligence, at the end of the day, the internet is there, AI is there, but it's how do you use it, and how does it going to support you in the way that you communicate? And then, of course, adaptability. This is not going to come without change. So you have to be ready for the change, and you need to make sure that you continue to learn, unlearn, and relearn, because this is going to go around, and this is moving so much faster than what the internet ever did. So we are here in the telecom industry. So what does this mean for you today? And and you see, we're going to have to go up into the value, into the conversation with your customers. The talk about the product, the features that it has, the speed of the ports is not a differentiator anymore. This can be replaced by AI tomorrow. So you're going to have to become that transformation partner to really focus on the growth, understand the customer problem, and make use of the technology that's out there to support that conversation. 2 minutes to go. So how can you make sure that you find time? Because I do think there is time, Nasja. We're not running out of time, but it doesn't have to take a lot of time. But if you apply this on a daily basis, you will see that the compounding time that you have, the compounding insights that you will build up, is really going to support you to be that adaptable person and go through that learning cycle. And all you need to do is pick up something about AI, anything, and just spend 10 minutes on it. Then look at your customer industries and try to understand that one. And then the most important question is, what does this mean for my customer? How can I apply it? Don't apply it because for the sake of. No, it has to add value. It has to add compounding insights to the learning that you go for today. So to go back to that earlier question, am I going to lose my job? What's going to happen with AI? And I think if you remember that guy walking towards the future, then this is the approach that you need to take. The jobs will be automated, AI will be out there, efficiencies will be there, and it's going to reshape how we do business and how we talk to each other. But the biggest opportunity is your personal opportunity in here.
Hey, Sander. I like the concept, and of course, I support all your suggestions and ideas you bring to the group. One thing I miss fundamentally, and that's the cost component of AI. We all know that it's token-oriented, and you can easily spend 100, 150, 200K per month simply to give, let's say, the AI support and implement it in your company. Let's say, is that ever, let's say, taken into account in the AI, let's say, implementation in our day-to-day processes? Because then you will figure out that the business case will start dramatically negative before it will become positive.
If you look at the cost of AI in an enterprise, then the average monthly spend at the moment is just under $12 a month per employee. That does not mean...
But then you don't use Claude or Anthropic because they're significantly more expensive.
On average, right, per person. But you're going to have a number of your super users in an organization that spend considerably more. This has primarily to do with the fact that we're still learning a lot. So there's a big difference between the company learning on how to implement AI and going through many different iterations, and AI in an operational phase where it supports the efficiency in the process, supports your customer communication. You're not going to be building new applications every day and really start burning so many tokens every single time. But you're absolutely right. It's still relatively new. The models themselves are innovating very quickly, but we've already seen a big change from the models going through the learning phase and going into inference now. So you're going to see with that, the way that the networks need to be built is going to change as well. The compute itself is going to move more towards the edge, probably not on site at your office, but in a data center closer to where your users are. And the utilization of the tokens, or the consumption of the tokens, is going to spread itself more naturally across your business processes. But today, indeed, your super users can burn a lot of tokens very quickly.
It would be interesting to see those use cases and get some more insights on that one.
Well, Nasha.
Just to add something to that.
Catch!
Exactly. Because when you do the use case and you look at the return on investment when you add AI, right? Each use case is very different. Each department utilization is very different. The cost was very high at the moment is usually on the development technology side, not on your business users. However, there is a big trend of localizing your AI on open source AI, on-prem, but you will need GPUs to run it. And there's quite a few models that will give your business users, let's keep the technology coders aside for a minute, because that's where the expense is, and so that's where you need the new updated models, but it gives you more control. Because I don't know if you read and you saw what happened with Anthropic, that they pulled their latest model because they were told by the government to do so. So if you build anything on top of somebody else's land, you don't have the control of it. So you can reduce the cost and you can create more control by using an open source model that can run locally for your business users, and in some cases also your development users. There are models now that run on a phone for the day-to-day business, and you don't need more than that. There are models now that you can you will need a decent Mac, or there are machines that you can then put them on-prem and run the models, and you don't have then the cost in addition to that.
Yeah, I'm actually speaking next, so starting to get comfortable, and you're giving me a perfect segue talking about open source and AI. Regarding costs, we just got handed over a project from a customer of ours that was already spending 20,000 euros in building an application in its back end. And in regards to time, the individual building this didn't have the time to support it. So this went from an AI project to a human project, and I'll talk about it. I don't want to steal your thunder, so I'll talk about it here shortly.
But you see parallels now, right? It's the human factor that makes the difference. AI is a great tool to use. We still need to learn on how to use it. For a lot of people, it's new. It's not just a more advanced Google, but if you know how to apply it, you can do it efficiently as well. You don't have to burn through too many tokens. Then, but at the same time, what we're still learning as well is, I ran through a use case, and then I'll stop talking, for a field marketeer who wants to do something very simple, getting a marketing campaign out there. You can't ask just ChatGPT, because they'll give you some great content, but horrible slides. You can't ask just Claude. They will create better slides, but how does it know the house style? How does it apply it? And so when I talk that through in detail, through that whole process, or to get from an idea to an outcome, being a campaign that supports my storyline, that sits in my brand style and everything, I needed 6 individual models, all with their own expertise, and had to glue all of that back together again. And we're not going to find a model tomorrow that suddenly is great at it. So one of the other research that we did is we tried to find out how many models there are, or split up of models that have specialized themselves in a particular niche. And there are already 1 million AI applications out there, all with their own specialty. Good luck choosing the one that you want to use. So, but how to apply it, for that you need to have the curiosity, and you going to have to continue to learn. Otherwise, innovation is going to go too quick and it's going to pass you by. And with that one, I'm way over time. The next speaker, please.